Bernie Sanders says U.S. should confiscate 100% of any money Americans make above $999 million. They can survive just fine. What do you think? Why is a Chris Wallace quote being attributed to Bernie Sanders? All quotes on the internet are attributed to the wrong person. Colonel Harlan Sanders. This is true. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Bernie did not say that, the interviewer said that. Bernie shrugged. Edited for clarity. Bernie shrugged. I would totally read that book by Ayn Rand, but skip the 50-page monologue at the end. Deleted. So maybe someone can try to explain this a bit. Would this apply to the value of the company stock? Because to my knowledge most of the people in this category don't actually take home $1 billion plus in cash into their checking. Correct, a lot of the very wealthy have a decent amount of their value in stocks and it would be tricky to include that. They only get taxed when selling them. Edit. There can be taxes when getting the stocks as compensation depending on how it is done. They still are able to borrow against those stocks as they grow / buy more and borrow against that. But, they do take out loans with the stock as collateral, that isn't treated as income and is not taxed. They keep taking out larger loans to pay off the previous ones until eventually they cash out, or more likely, they do it until they die. Really, the whole system needs to be overhauled to discourage some of the insane amounts of wealth and resource hoarding that is going on. Doing something like taxing at 100% after a certain level probably wouldn't be able to be applied to lots of these practices for reasons plenty others are pointing out. Ultimately, we need a system that encourages them to pay their workers more and essentially spend more of their profits. I see how just cutting them off at a certain point sounds like it would work, but I doubt it would. Edit. Here is a solid article on this practice. https://www.forbes.com/sites/david ray/2022/07/14/how-the-rich-use-the-dash by-borrow-die-tax-bills. Edit. As others have pointed out, this is just one of many ways they can avoid taxes and continue to generate more wealth. Edit. Also, the comment from Bernie is being taken pretty out of context. No one is seriously proposing we confiscate the wealth of anyone with over $1 billion. Bernie said, tax them 100% above $1 billion. Not liquid cash. I pay about 30 to 40% of my paycheck goes poof before I even see it. That is more than Netflix paid the entire 2022. So the $400 they take out of my check is more than billionaires and their companies pay. Fuck it. Charge them. They never have to touch their money. Rich people are taught to live off debt, middle class is taught to never get into, and the poor can never get out of it. What a world we built for the ruling class. They twist the words taxed at 100% from a quote that he didn't actually say. Simply put, this is false information. Are you essentially arguing that the government should seize the remaining funds until you reach $999 million? Matthews turned to the independent U.S. Senator from Vermont who also caucuses with Democrats and helped them win a narrow majority in the upper house of Congress. Yes, Sanders affirmed. You may disagree with me, but that's okay. I believe people can survive on $999 million. They can survive perfectly fine, in my opinion. He hasn't even called for or proposed a tax. He's merely responding with a shrug to the interviewer's ridiculous assertion. Almost no one on the planet reports having $1 billion annual income. This is all contained in multiple assets. Bernie merely shrugged off a crude and perhaps laden remark, and now everyone is working up a fuss about how Bernie wants a 100% tax. He hasn't actually said that. His policy perspective, or the viewpoint he expresses in that interview, is a return to tax rates as they were under Eisenhower. Which is entirely logical. It blows my mind how much misinformation rules our lives. Edit. I guess this is actually called disinformation. Comment below with your thoughts on the misattribution of quotes and share your experiences with online misinformation.